Hello everyone. In the video today I'm going to talk about how to make a DIY graduation tissue box money roll. It's a really fun way to give cash as a gift because it's a little more personal and there's really an experience in getting to the cash. And so for those of you that haven't seen something like this, basically there's a tab, they pull it and the money comes out. In the one I'm going to make with you today, I'll show you how I have like quotes related to graduation mixed in with the money, kind of makes it a little even more personal. Okay, let's take a look at what it takes to put together a money box. We start with a box of tissues. I'm using Kleenex brand. I only point that out because different boxes are different sizes, and the printable package I put together fits the Kleenex brand box. You need your money, whatever denomination, scissors, Scotch tape, double-sided tape. You'll need some markers to decorate. I would suggest school colors, pencil, a little tissue paper at the end. Again, this can be school color. And that is what is going to poke out of the top of your tissue box when you're done. And you'll also need your graduation printable. This is something that I put together and I'm making available free to you on my blog. You can see a link to that down below, but it's got each of the panels for the sides of the tissue box. It's got the square panel for the bottom of the tissue box, another square for the top of the tissue box. It has the pull tab, which is really important because that's what attaches to your money roll. And then there are a lot of different quotes about graduation and kind of about the journey moving on to your next life. So really great, easy packet to put together this DIY money roll project. We're going to start by taking a look at our printable packet, and we're going to cut the 4 pieces that are going to go onto the sides of the tissue box. These are the 4 large rectangles, and you can see here that we have a few different designs. So we've got the "You did it," "Congratulations graduate," and "Best wishes on your next adventure." Once you get those sides cut, you can decide if you want to further decorate them. I like to use colored markers, and I find out the school colors of the graduate, and I just do really simple decorations. Here you see me just doing squiggly lines in one color, and I do stars in the yellow color. The school colors for this graduate that I'm doing are blue and gold. So I'm just doing blue squigglies and gold stars. Again, you can skip the step if you want to. You could just do polka dots. If you don't know the school colors of the graduate, you could just do all kinds of fun colors, or you could just leave it black and white, and I think it still would turn out very cute. If you find anything helpful today as you're watching this video on how to make a DIY money roll in a tissue box, I would really appreciate it if you would just take a second and tap that like button. And if you like to do DIY projects, you like to do decorating around the holidays, celebrating different events in life, that's the kind of stuff that I post on my blog and on my YouTube channel. So just take a second and also subscribe. Okay, so I think the 4 side panels for my tissue box turned out super cute. It didn't take me long to do these decorations at all, but it's personalized in the colors of my graduate. So it's time to get these put onto the tissue box, and I'm using double-sided tape. And you could use glue if you wanted to, and I'm putting this double-sided tape directly onto the tissue box. Now, I've done it both ways. You can also put it directly onto the paper. I have to say I haven't found one way works better than the other. The important thing is that you have adhesive on either the sides of the paper or on the sides of the box, because you don't want that curling up. So get as close to the edge as you can, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So get that adhesive. I've never really had a problem with the papers coming off the tissue box. I've only had a problem with the sides curling up. So again, that's why you just want to make sure you get along the sides with the adhesive. I think these sides all turned out really cute. I love the blue and the gold and the little bit of design. I think it just adds a little bit of energy and excitement to the money box. So now that we've done the sides, it's time to do the top and the bottom. And so I just need to find those two squares that are in the printable package and cut along the outside of those dotted lines, just like I did for the sides. And then I'll be ready to get the next steps done for the top and the bottom. Now for this video, I'm not going to decorate the top and the bottom because you know how to do that already. So I just need to get that adhesive onto the bottom of the box, and then I can just press that woohoo congratulations square on. So the square that has the writing is the one that's going onto the bottom. And then for the top, what I need to do is I need to pull this tab off because we need to open up the top. That's where the money roll will come out. So I'm going to pull this tab off and put it onto my blank square. And I'm going to trace around that with a pencil. Now you might want to trace the back side. That way you don't have to worry about cutting to the exact outside of the trace line, or I mean you could erase the trace line. It doesn't matter. I'm actually doing it on the front because I just wasn't thinking about it. And then you need to cut that out. And I don't think I mentioned it, but I'm just using regular printer paper. I'm not using cardstock. You could use cardstock, but I'm using regular printer paper and it works just fine. And so if that's what you have, I wouldn't worry about trying to get plain white cardstock or anything like that. I think DIY money roll gifts are just a fun gift because you can use any amount of money and make the gift really fun and exciting. I have done money rolls for $10, so using 10 $1 bills with different quotes or poems, sometimes even notes, and they are just, they're still so fun. All right, so we've got this top cut out here, and I'm just putting it along the top just like I have all of my other pieces. Oops, I have a bubble. Got to get that fixed. It's really hard to get this stuff off once you put it on. And so just be really careful that you know where you want to set something before you do. All right, now it's time to cut the plastic off of the top of the tissue box. So just grab a pair of scissors and cut carefully along that opening, the tissue box opening, just to remove all of that plastic. It's important just to take a minute to get that off because it can catch up your money roll. I've had that happen before because you'll see it'll fit. But the money roll can kind of get stuck in that depending on the angle it's being pulled, and then that kind of messes up the whole experience. Now, got to get the tissues out. Do it 3, 4, 5 different little stacks. Don't pull it all at once because you don't want to rip that top of the Kleenex box. So once you get that emptied, we are ready for the next step. Okay, so my next step is to cut all of the quotes that I'm using. Again, there are more quotes in this printable package than you probably will even want to use. It really depends on how much money you're using. Longer rolls, you might end up using more quotes. I do use quite a few for a couple of reasons. One, I really like how it lengthens my roll of money. Notes, quotes, funny sayings are really good in those gifts that, might be $10, $15. But they're fun in the bigger ones too. And I think it's fun because it's a place that you can add that personal touch, make it right for the occasion that you're giving the DIY money box for. And so I cut most of mine. I didn't cut every single quote in the printable packet, but I cut most of them to have them ready. One of the most important components of the printable kit is our Pull Here tab. This is what attaches to the money roll. It pokes out of the tissue box on top, and it is what prompts the gift recipient to pull to discover the money roll. So this is a really fun part of the experience, and you'll definitely want to get that cut out. All right, so now it's time to make our money roll. We've got the quotes that we've cut out stacked up. We have our pile of money and whatever denomination we're using for a money roll. And now we need to start attaching these things together. So we're going to start with a few of the dollar bills, and we just line them up right next to each other. They do not overlap. They just go right next to each other. And we put a piece of Scotch tape to connect those two things together. Now this is where we can come in and we can add a quote to the end of one of the dollar bills. Now I'm actually turning it over so that I can put my tape on the back side of it. And from now on, I'm just going to turn my quotes upside down. Now it is important that your quotes are all facing the same direction. Otherwise, as they pull their money roll, some of the quotes would be upside down. So make sure when you're doing that that you're keeping consistent. And again, you just see here as I roll down this line of adding money and adding quotes, I'm just keeping the money just right butt up to each other, not overlapping it. And then I'm turning my quote over and getting my quote taped to that as well. And you just continue doing this as you work through all the money that you're wanting to put into your money roll. It doesn't have to be exact. You know, sometimes you might do $3 bills, a poem, $3 bills, a quote, $3 bills, a note. Or you might be totally mixing it up. So a couple dollar bills, quote, a $5 bill, a note, a dollar bill, a dollar bill, a dollar bill, a quote. It can be a lot of fun to change it up and surprise the person as they're opening their money roll. All right, so we get the money roll done, and it's time to actually roll the money roll. And that's what we're going to do here, starting at an end. We just start to roll the money, keeping it tight, keeping it small, and keeping the sides lined up. Now, one of the things you'll probably want to do as you start to do this, if you are using quotes, is just turn it over to look at the quote and make sure that it is right side up. So they're going to be pulling, like the part that you're rolling is the bottom and everything above that is the top. And so you want to make sure you're not rolling it from the wrong end and then all of your quotes are upside down. So just keep rolling this, keeping it straight, keeping it tight, and then you'll be ready here in just a minute to attach that pull me tag. You can attach the pull me tag before you put it into the tissue box, or you can wait until after. Here we're going to wait until after we get it in. It'll work both ways. And then we just put a piece of Scotch tape along the bottom of that tag and then line it up flush to the money, just kind of how we've done when we've lined the dollar bills next to each other. So get that taped on, and then if too much of your roll has come undone, you can just stick your hand down there and tighten it up, and there you've got your pull here tag. But we need to get that filled with that hole really empty. That pull here tab is going to just kind of tip over or not be shown. So we're going to use tissue paper and tuck it into that tissue box opening. It adds some color, and then we can pull that pull here tab just to the right spot, and that then will complete the assembly of our money box. And I think it turned out really cute. It's customized for the graduate. It's got the pull here tab inviting them to the experience. And then here I thought I'd just pull it so you can get a feel for what happens. As someone is opening it, you might want to tell them to go ahead and pull that tissue out because it will let the money roll flow better. And it can actually flow pretty fast. Like I find kids like to pull faster. Adults will stop and read. I think even high schoolers a lot of time will stop and read the quotes. At the end of this video, I'm going to show a really quick pull. My son pulled it, and he didn't really have any interest in reading any of the quotes. But you can see it really can create a long enough experience if you're at a party and they're not expecting it. It's pretty fun as you keep just pulling and pulling. And if you're doing $1 bills, they can go a really long way. And if you're adding in the quotes, or if you're making notes on the same size as the paper that I did the quotes on, it really can make it kind of funny, more personal, and just extend the life of the present. There, we finally hit the end of that one. I never put a note at the end. You could make one of the first things you tape to a note, but I always think it's fun just to kind of end on money. So let's take a look at my son doing the pull. He managed to get through the roll pretty quickly, and got a kind of a system for just really running through that money roll fast. I hope you found today's video helpful. I hope you learned what you need to go put together your own DIY money roll tissue box. If you found it helpful, please take just a second and tap that like button. And if you do like to do DIY projects, you do like to celebrate holidays and events, please take a second and also tap that subscribe button. Thanks. Have a great day.